Today we're going to talk about some tips for advertising on social media with a small budget, which is extremely important for small business owners. You probably feel like a lot of times you have to spend a lot of money to get anything done on Facebook or social media in general, but it's really not the case. So since it's so important to have a social media presence, we're going to just break down some tips for how to really make your small budget effective on your social media channels.
Yes. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room right now.
Big.
Facebook and Instagram. So if you haven't heard yet, Facebook and Instagram have changed their algorithm drastically. And algorithm is the way that you see things, a post, or the way that your posts are shared on the feed. So for example, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to reach your audience on Facebook or on Instagram if you don't follow certain tips that we're going to give you in a little bit, so stay tuned. But you'll probably see drop in the reach and the engagement and the followers, but don't worry, we'll get to that.
And also in some cases it's not awful for that to happen because you're actually reaching a more targeted audience and an audience that's actually showing signs that they're interested in what you are sharing. So because of these changes, we wanted to highlight just very quickly before we dig into the social media marketing tips for advertising. We wanted to dive into some of these changes and make sure that you're using best practices to ensure the greatest reach. So you guys at BlitzMetrics, you guys use a lot of video.
Yep.
And that's definitely a good sign for the algorithm changes. You should keep using video, right?
Yeah, video is huge. Facebook 2018. We've all heard it's a pay-to-play game. Now it's a film-to-play. You should be definitely using video in part of your content strategy.
Yeah, and more importantly, using live video whenever you can. If you have a great event or if you have a customer that wants to talk about your business, find ways to get out there live like we are today, like Natalie does every Friday with marketing tips. Getting out there with live video is really going to help you with getting to more of a broader audience. So I really recommend it, and Logan's going to talk a little bit more in a bit about how he uses his videos for strategies with marketing. But definitely if you're not making video, make video, get out there live and reach your audience.
Exactly. Another thing you can do is having meaningful interactions. That means having people comment not just one word, but a few words on your post, like, hey, even a question. Hey, can you elaborate a little bit more on that? And then you give them something meaningful to take away so that Facebook will recognize that post as something meaningful to share to a broader audience. So something else that you can do is ask your followers or your audience to heart it, to react to a post, so they're not just liking it, but they're reacting and using all of the features that Facebook has available for them.
But be careful of what Natalie just said too, because one of the other things is Facebook really doesn't want you using engagement bait. So you have to, in order to get those meaningful interactions, you really have to make sure that you're putting out the kind of content that everyone wants to see and not asking them to share in the comment or in the captions. Don't ask them to, don't try to build up your audience by saying like, comment, and share to enter this contest. Facebook's going to actually decrease your reach. Is that right?
Yeah, they frown on engagement bait. More than decreasing reach, it's just not the best long-term strategy for actually monetizing because you're bringing in people for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Definitely. Okay, and the next one?
And I have a bonus tip. So start a community group on Facebook. Facebook is huge on social. So what are they about? They're a social channel, right? So if you create a group, for example, let's say you have a psychology practice and you create a group where it's just motivational quotes or people saying nice things to each other, and it's a closed private group or an open group. Now you have another avenue on your Facebook page that people will go to, and Facebook will recognize your page as something that's meaningful, that brings people together, that creates and builds a community.
Definitely. I mean, I suggest an open group, and if you have a need for a closed group, that is good too. It just depends on your audience, but open group is going to really allow for those meaningful interactions and for a community to be built easiest. So have you guys had any experience with any groups or heard of anything any of your clients are using them for?
Yeah, groups are great. This has been a push for Facebook starting with last June where they had a summit just talking about groups. And it's a great way to build community, which is what they want to do. They want people to be able to go on Facebook and interact with their friends, family, and like-minded peers, as opposed to just receive foreign content. So groups are great for everyone to engage, and definitely there'll be changes rolling out in the future. You'll probably be able to serve ads to people in your group. That's something you can't do right now, but it's definitely an area of focus for Facebook and something that they're productizing quite a bit.
Awesome. And the last tip we have here for the algorithm changes is actually an oldie but a goodie. It is post relevant content. I mean, this is something you guys should be doing anyway, so make sure your content is something your audience is going to find meaningful. One thing we keep as our true North Star as we build out content for our channel here is really thinking of bite-sized things you guys can take home and do in your own business today. That's really what we want to do, is help you with something that you can take away and make happen right away, even with your busy schedules. So if we ever aren't doing that, please send us any feedback. We would love to make sure we're hitting that for you guys and sending you that relevant content.